Hey, what's going on? This one's going to be very short and tactical. A little bit of context at the beginning because context is always important. But this one's going to be about how you can set your calories, okay? Um, Remember, the way that most people do things is very complicated and adds unnecessary stress and steps and all kinds of stuff to something that should not be, okay? Now, a little bit of context. The amount of calories that your body needs is based on how big you are, and then how much you move, how much you move that weight, right, throughout the day. And so it it costs more energy and more calories to move a 300-pound body around than it does a 150-pound, right? So that's that. Now, being that most people are in a fairly narrow range as far as weight goes, like, most people are somewhere between 130 and 250 pounds, right? I would say the majority are in there somewhere. And you might, I don't know, there is, in America, there's 3.7% of the population is overweight or obese, so that number might be higher. But my point is, it's not like we have no clue where most people fall, right? It's always like that bell curve. Majority of the population will be within a pretty narrow range of weight, right? So that tells us something very important, that most people can lose weight on a set amount of calories, right? So when I tell people, like, hey, you can just start at 2,000 calories, like, you'll be good, you'll lose weight there. That's actually true because it's based on physics. It's based on the fact that most people are. If you're 220 pounds and you should probably be somewhere around 160, guess what? You're gonna lose weight at 2,000 calories. Okay, could you go lower? Sure. Okay, but that's a great place to start because it's quite a bit of food, and it starts letting you get comfortable and understanding what different things, how many calories different things have, so on and so forth. All right, so that's kind of that part. So that being said, you don't need to go to 1,000 calories or 1,200 calories. Okay, I would actually not, even the smallest person, I would probably not go lower than 14, 1,500, even if you're like, let's say, like, I have a 5'1" girl. She might even be 5 foot. She's amazing. She's eating 1,700 calories a day and losing fat. That's how it's done. That's how it should be done. And she's eating everything she wants to eat because 1,700 calories is a lot. Okay. So now let's just get into the numbers. If you wanted to do something like this, okay, you would multiply your body weight times 10 to 13, okay? And you're going to find it ends up somewhere in that. So, like, your range would be, I'll give you an example. If you're 190 pounds and you should probably be like 160, you take 190, you multiply by 10 even, which is, aggressive fat loss. That gives you 1,900 calories. That's aggressive fat loss. Okay. Um, so that's kind of the one way to do it. I make it even simpler, and I would say just start at 1,500. Okay. If you're a woman, because you're probably lighter. If you're a guy, you should just start out at 2,000. You could start out at 15, but I feel that's not going to work for most people. Um, so that's a very simple way to do it. If you're a woman, start out at 1,500. If you're a guy, start out at 2,000. For a guy, set your protein to 150 grams. For if you're a woman, set it to 100 grams. Okay. Fats, I make it very simple. Just keep it at 50 grams, men and women. Okay. And then the remaining calories are carbohydrates. Okay. And so if you use one of these calculators, I'll make a little calculator for you to use as well, if I feel like it. And then you could check that out and use that. But um, for example, if you're a 200 pound guy, or if you're a guy and you're set your calories to 2,000, protein to 150. So a protein has 4 calories in it. So we take 150 times 4, it gives us 600. 600 calories. Okay, so now we got 1400 left, and then we take our whatchamacallit, our fat, which is 9 calories in a gram. Okay, so I take 50 grams of fat, and I multiply by 9, I get 450. So I had 1600 left minus 450 gives me 1150. Okay, so 1150 divided by 4, which is how many calories are in a gram of carbohydrates, gives me 290 grams of carbs. So there are your numbers: 150 protein, 50 fat, and 290 carbs. Okay, you'll lose weight. You'll lose weight. And now I would start with these numbers and start to adjust from there. Okay. Um, and the way that you adjust is you just see, like, is my weight going down? Cool, I'll stay here. Is my weight going down a pound or 2 per week? Usually it's going to be closer to a pound. That's a golden standard. Cool. Um, if it's going up, the first thing is like, well, you're probably miscalculating and not tracking accurately. That's the first thing. So I would go back to phase 1 of the nutrition protocol. But the second thing is then you can just adjust calories. But more often than not, 95 times out of 100, it's because you're not tracking accurately. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm gonna leave it at that. If you have questions on this, please send them to me on Instagram because I want to clarify this for more people. And my Instagram is, as always, Ranbir.Sanghera, at Ranbir.Sanghera on Instagram. You could also shoot me an email, Ranbir013@gmail.com. But if you find me on Instagram, it's probably gonna be a lot faster because I'm usually on there. But I'll leave it at that. Last thing I'll say, best thing is, this is where coaching can really expedite this. Like, I saw all this information, wherever, like 10, 12 years ago, and I tried to go through it, and you learn some things. But then when I hired a coach, it made it easy because I didn't need to think, right? I just needed to do, and then I learned along the way, and then he kept me out of the gutter, right? So if you want me to actually help you with this and make this super easy and do all the work for you as far as figuring out what needs to be done and then giving you the adjustments and corrections, go to www.applywithranbir.com. Right? Um, I don't work with a lot of people. I work with a very small amount of people because I spend a lot of time with them, and you know you can collapse how long it takes you to achieve these results. Something that could take 10 years and get it done within 6 months. Right? And so that is the commercial, the sponsor for today's podcast. And one more thing that I'll add to that is, like, maybe you just, you want to be part of the community. I have my private Telegram channel. That's where I drop daily insights and goodies for my people. So if you want to get on the private Telegram channel, just shoot me a message um, on Instagram or at my email, and that's only $20 a month. $20 a month. All right, I'm putting goodies in there, tips, tricks, all the things that I use and do daily that help me pretty much stay shredded without much effort all year round. And those are my VIPs. VIPs. All right. So if you want to get into either of those, find me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.